glad you weren't streaming it right then. A little bit of history. So who else is coming? Is Leah gone?
Leah's gone, and I did not hear back from Jennifer, so
Okay.
I don't know.
But we have a quorum.
But we have 3.
We do.
Yeah, we're good to go whenever you're ready.
All right, call the meeting to order. Can I have a roll call?
Got it? Yep.
Right? Tony Smith and Robert, I'm gonna remember your Henderson. And Steve Clements are here. All right, agenda approval, anything of changes that we need to note, anything come up? Because it does say still draft on it. If not,
Oh, Jennifer's here.
Oh, hey.
correction, Jennifer's here.
All right. Come on.
Hey, just started. Everybody had a chance to look at the minutes?
Let me print another agenda. I thought I printed more of those.
I can share with Robert. Yep,
Okay.
thanks.
You save a tree. All right, I move to approve the agenda.
Oh, that, we always have to do that. I'm just not used to it. Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Well,
Aye.
let's get a second first, if you don't mind.
Oh,
I
Tony.
did. Oh, Tony.
Thank you. Speak up. All right.
Thank you, Robert, for reminding me. I'd like charge right through this thing.
Yeah, I know.
Has everybody seen the minutes? Any comments?
Point of
I was
order.
not here, so I
You guys
yes.
can't make
Yeah.
any motions on this since you weren't both here, so I think it's
Okay,
just up to
I
you
make a
guys.
motion.
Okay.
We approve the minutes from March 11th.
And I'll second
Very
that.
nice.
Yeah.
Can they vote?
No, so it's fine. It passes. We'll just make it look pretty in the minutes.
Okay.
It's all good.
We're good? You
I'm
and I are
good.
good? Okay,
I'm
we're
good.
good.
Yeah.
All right, no public comments, I'm assuming. Old business, 2025 work plan.
Oh, can you, I sent
Yes,
that,
stand by.
can you
1
pull
second.
that up? So I thought it
What's
might
that
be
say?
worthwhile just to pull this up periodically, just to see how we're coming along through the work
What is it,
plan.
on Excel? Yeah.
My,
There it is.
yeah.
Are you gonna be leaving us, Stu? Weren't you like
Not that I know of.
moving for some federal?
No.
No, I don't, I haven't heard that.
I haven't either, so
Okay.
nope.
Oh,
Or state, not federal.
yeah.
Well, he's on the
No,
commission.
That's just
this-
the thing. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
It's a volunteer position.
Okay.
So the ones that are kind of highlighted in yellow are completed. The ones that are in blue, I just wanted to say that I'm currently working on those. So we're currently working on spring tree planting, Arbor Day. We're working on getting the trees oh, that's what I wanted to change, Stu, and I don't know if we can do that now, but where it says 2025 Parks Rotation Pioneer Park, it actually should say Riverside Park.
Where is it?
Line 20.
This
Yeah,
should say Riverside.
That should
Park.
say Riverside, because I surveyed those trees and I started working on those. And then if we keep scrolling down, so that's stuff that we got through and done. And then I just wanted, I added 38 and 39 because theoretically the ODF grant is approved and the CGI grant is approved, and so we will be developing project plans for those two things.
CGI is approved for sure.
The other one is not.
Well, theoretically, yes, but it is a federal pass-through, so.
The other one's not.
Yeah.
So
And then if we scroll on down, I think there were a couple of things that, maybe not, maybe that was it. Anyway, I just thought it wouldn't hurt to just bring this up periodically and just kind of make sure we're still on track. I'm kind of trying to flesh it out as much as possible for whoever comes in to this position. So, anyway, that's all I wanted. Oh, and line 61, I did not participate in that this year, the Master Gardener training presentation, so.
Was there one?
Yes, there was, but apparently I was not invited this year.
rude.
I have no idea why, but sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not.
Did you
They're
email
lost.
this to us?
Not this updated one.
Okay.
I will do that.
Okay. Just so we have it.
Are we talking about the planting along the Island Avenue?
That's the
Later?
yeah, that's on the agenda. Yep.
Sorry.
And that's all. That's all I.
okay.
That's all I had on the work plan. I just thought it's worthwhile to pull it up and revisit it.
So
Especially
something-
since you guys are on this a lot. See the CLF,
Yeah.
that's all you guys.
Okay. Yep.
You need to know your responsibilities.
All right. That'd be good to have a look at it and see it a little more closely. Nothing else?
Nope.
Questions for Teresa on work plan? All right. IRA grant.
Stu, do you want to talk about our meeting today?
Sure. We, which one is this? Oh, yeah.
Oh, I guess we had 2 meetings today, didn't we? No.
No, just
no,
which
one.
grant?
Just which
Um,
grant.
this, what, let me see the minutes say, there's not much of a difference in the update. The IGA is, let's see,
IRA.
IRA, yeah. Steve, that's about it. Private state, our grants already covered by the state, okay. Long story short, we have met with, the state, this is a federal pass-through grant, so they have an executed agreement with the federal government, so it's a done deal, none of that money has been cut. But it's not a done deal because you never know if it will be. But for now, all the executed agreements are safe, and they plan to be safe. So that's all good to go, green light. So we met with staff today about there was a contracted expense in that application for about $30,000 to do a tree canopy assessment. But the state paid for that already, and there's now a statewide tool where we don't need that anymore. So we have $30,000 extra dollars. So we met with them trying to figure out what we're going to do with that extra money. Are we going to now extrapolate that data and do the groundwork? In other words, it's online, and then you compare that. You go walk in some, you pull that address from the website. You look at it on the ground. You're like, well, there's a power line right there, or well, there's actually a sidewalk there. It's a little bit off. You know what I mean? So it's not perfect. So there's one thing called what's it called planting spaces. What they call that?
Available planting space.
Available.
Yeah, plantable space, available planting
Yeah.
spaces.
So we could hire them out to come out and kind of walk the streets in the neighborhood that we're talking about and compare those two things and do that work for us and give us a report. Here are the actual plantable spaces, and double check that with the inventory or the tree canopy assessment. Or we could own that information that is available in the cloud from Oregon Department of Forestry, or what was the other option? We could put it into a different category. It could be put into like staff to go do that here. That we have them look at the tree canopy assessment and then go walk the streets. It could be added to our maintenance line, or it could plant more trees. So we could do a budgetary adjustment request. So it's way too much information, but where it stands is the contractor is going to ask their field guys if they can come and do that plantable space inventory with us. And if they can get that in this next calendar year by December, then we're going to go with that and spend up to $30,000 on that amount.
And who's the contractor?
So it's Planet Geo, and they're actually going to be doing a street tree inventory for Pendleton this year. And so they were thinking, since we're not very far away, maybe we could kind of piggyback on those same crews and get ours done.
Okay.
Because otherwise they're booked out to like 2026. Planet Geo is the vendor that ODF has contracted with to do their tree plotter, which is the online mapping tool that's a statewide canopy assessment, and it's a pretty robust tool. So I'm super excited when it goes public. So we'll share more about that.
And it's referenced in this book.
Is it?
Yeah, Planet
Okay,
G, and it's
cool.
spelled PLANIT.
Yeah, plan it. G.
Clever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you think it'd be much better to use them than try to
Well,
hire local people?
Russell, the rep, was very straightforward. He said, you really won't get a whole lot more from, if we do private one for you than what this will provide. The only difference is that we would own the data and it could be housed in
Well, I think
RRT.
she's talking about the plantable space.
Oh, the plantable space.
If
Yeah,
we
I
have
mean-
them come to town.
Are they much better, do you think, than like, you know, hiring some people here to
Yes.
do it? Okay.
That was very definitive.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, and
Basic,
so,
there's no, I mean, communities have done, like hired students or whatever, but it's sketchy.
Okay.
yeah, I can imagine you have to train them,
Mm-hmm.
cause they're not,
You
don't have
have
the
to
experience.
monitor
You have to
them.
monitor them, you have to, you know,
Yeah.
check the data, there's probably way more, this company has been doing it. They've got the training, they've got the data, you know, correction, they've got everything, you know.
Well, it's also like pivotal in planning, right? So they're gonna give us this spreadsheet of all the plantable spaces for the next maybe 10 years,
Yeah.
right? So if somebody screwed it up, then it's just a waste of everybody's time.
Anyway, so that was for the IRA grant.
Is that all, did I cover all that?
CGI,
So that's the Island Avenue one. Did you
Okay.
have a question about
I
that?
was just asking, wanted to ask if you were able to get some of that soil from Amazon.
Stu's working
Amazon.
on
I
it.
have no idea about Amazon. Oh, Project Nickel. Yeah, no, I called the contractor and he's happy to do that. We just have to
Great.
work out some legal things and, he has to approve it. We gotta figure out how to get it there, all that, but it's all
Okay.
free,
Cool.
so, yeah.
It looks
talk to
like
him.
it's nice.
Should
So-
be out in
It's
the
like-
bottom land.
Yeah,
It's like
Or
pasture, right?
well, and it's also a flooded area that
historic.
periodically it would flood and dump a bunch of nutrients there and just, so it would
That
build
was
up.
that was a good idea. So yeah, I got the number from Public Works, called him, and he was like, yeah, I need to get rid of this somewhere, so that would be great. And to also make it look good for the community would also be a good thing.
Yeah.
Because his client said that there's lots of restrictions on that, so
Restrictions on what?
how do you can't just give away stuff to anybody. There's legal things that they have to go through and different kinds of use, and it has to be used for different specific things, etc. So
Community use looks good for Amazon.
I think so.
Yeah,
His client, I don't know who that is.
That's pretty common.
You don't.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a certain monetary tax write-off, I'm sure. with
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
they'll put a value to it,
Uh-huh.
and which is, I think that's fine, I mean,
Yeah.
we get
We get
something,
it for free. I
we
don't
get
mi- I don't
something,
care.
they get
Yeah.
something, and it works. Anything else?
It creates a similar issue because now we're gonna have extra money because we had that in the budget to buy Phil.
Oh, yay.
So, the good news is we met with the Department of Land Conservation Development and they said that as long as you're we don't really care, you can go 10% up or down in your budget lines. We just wanna make sure you do a minimum of what you said you're gonna do, you can also do more. So Teresa said there might be some extra money from trees being less expensive because we can only get baby trees instead of adult trees, and she can't find them or source them, so that was her question. And then to the same end, the fill will be the same way, we don't have to buy it, so we'll pay to transport it, I suppose. But
So, yeah, so kind of I guess the thought is if they have a whole lot of fill, more than our current project area,
Uh-huh.
we just keep filling.
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah.
so Danny gave me a measurement of 1,800 yards today.
For the space, just for the space that we identified, okay.
That's how much dirt we need. So that's 180 truckloads, right?
Wow.
10 yards.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Wow,
I'm gonna
that
have
is
to go
a
back
lot.
and see if that's what I had in my estimate.
Yeah, I've had one
Wow.
cubic yard dumped in my yard of stone and crushed rock, and it was like, holy mackerel, I thought, just 1 cubic, 1 yard,
Uh-huh.
at 1,800, buried
Wow.
my lot.
It's a lot of dirt. It's a big swale though.
Yeah,
Cool.
is that gonna have any impact on drainage? Or runoff from the highway, or,
No, go ahead, Stu,
But no, I was just gonna say, we're not gonna fill it up.
okay,
So there's
Still
still gonna
be
be a
gonna be-
still
swale,
gonna be a
but it's
small.
not gonna be as defined. So
okay, alright,
there won't be like homeless people crawling out there. Sometimes I'm like, whoa,
yeah.
you can't see them. Just
Um,
pop up like little groundhogs. Like, oh.
anything else on CGI?
On schedule, on track.
Okay.
They also said it's state money, so it's secured money. So we can move forward with all our planning and implementation. We don't have to wait for anything like we do with the other one. We have to wait for the signed agreement. This one, the signed agreement will be maybe in August or September. They said, go, it's state money. You got it.
Great, and there's just, we can't get big trees, huh?
Well, you know, the ones that we planted there along the Second Street
Yep.
ramp, that's what I was wanting. I was wanting in like the 4 to 5 to 6 foot range, and I just have not been able to find them. The supplier that I got it from before is no longer,
So how
The,
big
the
are they gonna be?
pines that you wanted
the
pines.
pines.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're gonna be half on the strip, they're gonna be half pine and half deciduous trees, climate resilient deciduous trees.
40 of them.
Yeah, 40 total. And the biggest I could find is from Wildlands Nursery in Tri-Cities, and they're gonna be like 3
Not
feet.
That's
big.
all. Wow.
But they're
So-
pines. They're pines.
They're gonna grow
Yeah.
fast.
And you know, even the ones on Second Street, the first year they kind of,
Yeah, they just sit there.
you know, last year, which was the second growing season,
They
they're
shot it
like
that much?
this, and they're looking like this year they're gonna be 12 to 18 inches. So the pines will go crazy.
How big are the deciduous ones?
They'll be like our street
Oh,
trees.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
good.
they'll be good sized.
Okay.
They'll
Yeah.
look like trees. So
Well,
those I can find.
Any other questions about CGI? Okay, budget.
Just that it was presented, you know, it's through the first phase, which is the city manager and finance director's review. So the next phase will be, budget hearings.
Yep.
And then it'll be on to council for approval. So just an update there.
Okay. Poster contest.
So the posters are all up at the library. They look really
Yay.
awesome. Thank you for the folks that came in and helped judge them. That was great. I've been working on putting together the poster contest prizes for the winners, so that's always fun. So yeah, so poster contest, other than just doing the announcements at the Arbor Day event, we're pretty well wrapped up with it. I have a couple of teachers I still need to hear back from, because I always send out the list of the winners so I get their names spelled correctly. But yeah, so
There were some really nice ones. I
There were.
took a picture of this one because
yeah.
I just loved it.
there were some really nice ones.
I mean, it was trees around the world, and so
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
had the world, and then they had trees from different parts of the world, and they had them all labeled. It's like wow, and the art is good.
Yeah.
Like holy man.
Yeah, it was a pretty impressive
Yeah.
one.
Anything else there?
Nope.
Okay, and the awards will be given out at Arbor Day,
The Arbor Day event.
Okay.
Yep.
which is a nice segue.
Yep, April 25th, and I've been working, yeah, Stu's got that up there, so that's our program. Oh, you know, it's still the cable, isn't it?
This cable's about worn out,
Yeah.
so it's like,
That's
don't
good.
move.
So yeah, April 25th, we'll do 2 sessions, one at 9 and one at 12. And at the end of the first session is when we will be doing, the ODF folks will be there, and they'll be doing the Oregon Tree City announcement.
Yeah, they couldn't come to city council, so they'll be at this,
Yeah.
which is
So if you
the
wanna-
official
Yeah,
presentation.
if you wanna pull up the schedule,
So it's 9 and noon, so it's gonna go to like 3.
2,
2.
2:10. Yeah, 'cause they gotta be back to school by, they get out of school at 2:30. So what I did is, because we had requests for more tree planting time, and I also had a request for more time for the gal who's gonna do the tree tapping, I cut the number of sessions, so we'll be doing the tree tapping, hopefully tree art with the folks from Trees East.
Art Center East.
I mean, Arts
East.
Art
Arts
East.
East.
Wow, that was a blast from the past. Arts Center East. And then the fallback is if the Arts Center East thing doesn't pan out, then we'll do the
Tree ID.
tree ID.
Okay.
Okay,
But
so
that's
I
gonna
was not here last week, or the last month.
Mhm.
What's the tree tapping?
Oh, her name's Doreen Kimball, and she had done a presentation at the library on tapping trees and making syrup.
Okay.
And I was planning on going, and it worked out that I wasn't able to. But anyway, I called her and said, "Hey, would you be interested in doing that presentation for this?" And she seemed pretty excited to be involved. So she's gonna do a.
So is it something the kids can get hands on?
She's gonna do two things. She's gonna do a slideshow presentation with a projector, and then she's also bringing all the stuff so that they can. Because I said, well, we got maple trees, so I don't care if you do it on a real maple tree. It's not gonna hurt it. But she said, no, I've got this demo thing that she's gonna bring and do
Looked
it
like
on.
a pump, you know, it just pumps out
Yeah.
the syrup.
Anyway,
That'd be
we're gonna get together in advance so we can try out the screen and the projector and make sure it's gonna show up. So.
It's too bad she couldn't actually tap some trees.
And I'm gonna talk with her about that to see. I mean, it's a little late in the season, you know.
Yeah.
January, February is really when you wanna do it. When it's still pretty cold at night, but then a little warmer during the day. But I'll ask her and see if she'd be willing. The problem is the time frame. We only have a half hour,
Yeah.
and so.
But even if you had even if she had a tap in a tree with a bucket that she started in the morning,
Yeah, I can ask her
and
about
then
it.
when the kids got there, she could show them the demo, but then you could go, look, this bucket's been sitting here for an hour, and it's only this much in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So
I was gonna say,
it takes a
really
long time.
slow.
Yeah.
It does.
So it's not like you're gonna, that jug of maple syrup you got at home is a lot of juice.
Well, after
Yeah.
you've cooked it down.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Annie, my daughter tried to do it with her partner, and I think they had like 2 or 3 cups of it, and they boiled it down. She said, "Oh, we got about like a thin bowl of sugar, of maple syrup."
Yeah, but it was
It was good.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Okay.
So anyway, so those are. That's the tentative schedule. So I don't know how many of you are going to be able to be there for that day. Any of you that can come and help, that'd be awesome. We'll definitely need help with tree planting. I don't think Doreen's going to need any assistance with her session, but if we get the art center folks, we will probably need help wrangling that, because that's going to be a crafty kind of thing.
And I'm gone.
Okay, Jennifer's gone. I think
You can-
Leah said she
you
was
can-
gonna try and be
Yeah,
there.
I'm planning.
It's
I'm trying to be
So I
there.
see
Riverside.
it's central only.
This is the morning.
So-
The afternoon.
Uh,
Here's your Island City, and here's your Greenwood. Island City, Greenwood.
Yeah, so Central will be coming in the morning,
Gotcha.
and then Island City Greenwood will be in the
I think
afternoon.
they always do it that way.
Yeah.
Central hangs out and has lunch.
Yeah.
Then 10 less minutes to plant trees for Island
Yes,
City.
yes, the
Someone's paying
afternoon,
attention.
the afternoon gets 10 less minutes because
That's
of the
okay.
way the school day works
That's
out.
alright. Hey, I appreciate
If they
the more
walk
time. I
fast!
appreciate the more time anyways.
And tree art is.
That's the Art Center East. I'm hoping. So after I did the city council meeting, Ricky Joe Hickey said, "Hey, I was thinking about your event, Arbor Day event, and wondering if we could be involved." And I go, "Well, yeah, that'd be awesome." So she sent me some ideas for craft type stuff, tree related, nature craft type stuff that they could do. The sticking point on that is them getting staff approval to come and participate, because they have to pay their staff to be there.
Oh.
So she's supposed to be talking with Darcy to see if she can make that happen.
So if they can't have staff, can we just have the project ideas?
We could do either way. We could stick with the crafts and just do it ourselves. That's doable, or
Or
we
Steve
could,
has a backup.
or
plan
we
for-
can do the backup tree idea. I think the craft
I see.
one.
Okay.
I think the craft one would probably be fun, because it's pretty hands-on for the kids. The tree ID one was nice because it fit into the theme of trees around the world, because we could visit a birch tree that's from Europe, or I mean a beech tree that's from Europe, and a ginkgo that
The
was
only
original.
problem was the leaves weren't out
Yeah.
yet.
The leaves aren't out yet.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So anyway, so we'll probably, hopefully, get to stick with the art, the craft thing.
Okay.
But yeah, still trying to nail that down.
Are you guys, so will you be there?
Oh,
Yes, I
Steve
do.
said?
Yeah,
awesome.
I should be there.
Yeah, so, okay, cool.
Thank you guys.
I'll be handling the tree tapping. Anything else on Arbor Day, Field Day?
Don't think so.
So you said Leah would plan on being there too?
Yes, she, in her email, she said she hoped to be back in time for the Arbor Day, so I don't know where she was.
So remind me again when the ODFW at the end of the first one or the second one?
So,
Yeah, it's at
it's,
11:20 right here.
Okay,
yeah,
got
right
it.
down there,
Okay.
11:20, so.
And have you, so that's for the post,
Well, it's
Oh, okay.
both.
have you,
So-
I'm assuming you've notified the city council?
We talked about it
Actually, it's
today.
on my
Okay.
list of things to do.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, Brittany and Leela will be coming in on Thursday, the day before. They wanted to take a look at our grant project site and just hang out.
Okay.
And then they'll be here Friday for
We're just going down the walking path
Yeah,
further.
yep. And maybe, so that's also still kind of a work in progress, cause we lost a section of juniper that just flat out died. And so if I can get time in my schedule to get out there and get those juniper cut down and out of the way, we could plant trees in between. And then, then the rest will just be farther on down the greenway.
Well, let me know. I'm not gonna be here for spring tree planting, but I would help you with the removals if you want.
Juniper, oh, okay. I
So
will write that down
Yeah.
because I never say no to help.
I would be glad to go out there with some gloves, and if you wanna
Okay.
run the heavy equipment,
Well, electric chainsaw.
well, there you go.
You,
I like
you
the
have
little
to pull,
people
you have to.
No,
No.
so what my plan is to cut them up and pile them over on the other side till I can get out there with the chipper.
yeah.
And then the stumps, I'll just dig down, cut at ground level, and then the trees will plant in between. Cover the stumps up with mulch.
They
Um,
don't come back.
Very rarely.
Well, these are dead, so they're
Oh,
not
these
coming
are
back.
good. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple that have they're huge.
Yeah.
And there's one that's got like one little green thing at the bottom. Yeah,
So maybe, but what, they're dead.
yeah.
all right, spring tree planting day.
So that will be the first Saturday in May. What is that, the 6th?
May
Is that
Third.
Third.
I'm not here.
Third.
Yeah.
Tony's gone. Okay. And it'll just be our usual.
And you say you're gone as well.
Yeah. I
Convenient.
may be gone. If I'm not, I'll be here, but
Okay.
we're still working things out.
And we hopefully, theoretically, we're gonna have a group from CHD coming out and planting trees that day. So that'll be great. And maybe Rotary.
Wow,
Alright.
that could be a lot of people.
Well, we'll
Many hands makes the job fast.
Yeah.
Makes for light work. Okay.
Where are we planning again?
Just all around town. Yeah.
How many trees?
I usually try to limit it to 25 to 30 trees. That's about what we can do in 3 hours.
Yeah.
So there'll be,
What's our end site?
what? Oh, I don't know yet. It might be. It might be Ridge Drive again.
Oh boy.
But not down where
Yeah.
Steve
yeah,
lives.
yeah.
Where's Ridge Drive?
Above Bernie Park.
Oh, okay.
The new development.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's Ron Aratolo's backyard.
Ron, sorry, I was thinking of Steve Grant. It was
Ah.
Steve Grant and Ron Entertolo
Okay.
that did my addition.
I was just thinking that place, like, we were,
Oh,
on Second Street with, like, clay, rocks. We could, like, hardly get the tree in there. And then, but when we met up with you guys at the end, you'd already planted all the trees nice on Starlight or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that
Starlight.
was-
Yep.
That's what I remember.
yeah.
The ridge is just that bad.
It's not. It is.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
that bad.
It's-
Okay.
It's just a ton
It's
of
got
rock.
grumpy people.
Yeah,
Just
it's
a-
got a lot
Oh.
of
Ton of rock.
And grumpy people, huh?
Grumpy people and hard rocks.
Well, that's not a for sure, but I need
It's
I
a
need
great
to
place
pick.
for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just where we have multiple trees.
Catch a lot of rain runoff. And
And I'm sorry about that. I didn't think those Second Street ones were gonna be that bad.
Oh yeah, and then remember they didn't have hoses either because
Yeah.
that lady didn't want it, so she
Yeah.
put out a hose
The ginkgo, yeah.
because she cut down a tree she wasn't supposed to.
And so she didn't want a replacement.
Right.
Like,
She got one anyway.
She did.
Is it still there?
I don't know. Have to go see if it leaves out.
well, it's a ginkgo. They're very tough.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
and it's slow growing, so she'll be dead before it gets big enough. I forgot we're on.
Oh, we're on.
Moving on. Oregon Tree City of the Year.
So we kind of already talked about that a little bit. You guys, Leah
and I
and
were there.
Steve came to the city council meeting.
Cool.
So yeah, it was nice.
It was.
Um,
And Leah had a very nice thing
that's right.
to say during general public comments. She got up and spoke about our urban forestry.
Yeah,
Cool.
I was
And how
so
much-
touched.
Yeah.
How much she has done for the program.
Yes.
And that she will be sorely, sorely missed.
Oh, absolutely.
If we can throw a hobble around her legs and tie her to the
I'm
desk.
not moving out of the country.
I know,
I'll
but
I'll
still.
help out.
It was very, very nice.
It was. I was there.
So you'll be on the committee next.
Yeah, I could be.
Hey, hey.
Yeah, you could be.
I
Good
mean, I
idea.
don't live in the city limits, but I
You-
think.
you could
Neither
be-
do I.
Yeah, and I think can we have 2 people who are not on?
Probably.
I don't
It's
know.
probably
I
one
think
of
it's
the
just
other.
However,
Somebody's gotta
I could probably make it till summer break, so we can
She's
segue
not
into
gonna
fall.
retire till.
She's not leaving till the end of the year.
December.
December.
End of
December.
fiscal year, yeah.
Anywho,
Well,
So when you made the presentation, I think you said this, that LeGrand is like the second, is the second city in the country, the second highest city in,
for growth awards.
for growth awards.
Yeah.
That's this one over here.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
can
Wow.
we get that on the city's webpage? Can we get it someplace?
It's interesting that you brought that up because I was thinking about all these plaque things that only we ever see. It'd be nice if they were at City Hall.
It
Yeah,
would be nice.
it would.
But
or
I-
the
nobody's-
public library
Or the library.
Yeah, I
Can we
don't
do
know if
that?
the library would want them there or not.
with pictures,
Someplace where
like
people can see
the
them.
yearly poster contest winners for the kids. You
To
know,
be around
it's
it,
like
yeah.
section.
Yeah, but I think to me that's a marketable thing.
Yeah, and a couple years ago, it was actually publicized by the National Arbor Day Foundation because they do an annual thing about these are all the tree cities, blah blah blah, and we were on that
Yes.
news or that fact sheet,
But
whatever.
if the city's webpage had like a little section on, news events or current events on the main homepage, if we could get a little blurb in there, maybe a link to the Arbor Day Foundation to say, hey, this is, if you go here, you can see, But I
Yeah.
think more people should know that because
It's a huge deal.
it's a big deal to have an urban forest like we have.
In a very arid part
Yeah.
of our climate.
Yeah, and to be noted for continually growing that program for 35 years.
Yeah.
That's
Thanks,
commendable.
Robert.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I do link
Oh, much
from the
better.
urban forestry page on the website. I do have link to the
Okay.
Arbor Day Foundation,
Thank
but it's
you.
not on the main.
Yeah, but I think it should be right front and center on the as part of what the city is. Second in the country for tree growth.
You go to the webpage and confetti starts falling.
Yeah, wouldn't that be
start
nice?
rising,
Yes,
and
yeah.
then-
Yeah,
there you
that'd be
go.
And then I think I mentioned
Big
this to
red
you,
maple.
Stu, as I was scooting out the door. did you, cause Teresa, you did not give the grant amounts when you were presenting to the council.
Oh, I didn't.
And were you able to
Yeah,
tell
they-
the council?
they know,
So-
yep,
Because,
Oh, that's right, Stu sent out an email.
yeah, almost
I did.
$400,000 for the IRA grant and another 76 for the CGI. That's a lot of money coming for our urban forestry program, and I think, money talks, and particularly for counselors, they didn't have to do a thing. All they gotta do is keep supporting the program,
Right.
and that kind of thing happens, so.
Yeah.
You got a chance to tell them that then,
We
eh?
did.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know, Stu, who would be the person to talk to about that. That'd be
Yeah,
Robert or,
I do know the person to talk to.
okay.
All right,
I
so.
leave it up to you then.
So, anything else on Tree City of the Year, or City Council meeting? Okay, what, new business then, what is CBO?
So that's, sorry, I should have spelled it out. It's just community-based organizations.
Okay,
And so I got an invitation from, oh man, her name's gone out of my head. The CHD gal, Matea. She has been working with Stu because they also had grant money that they wanted to spend. And so they're going to be buying trees for us for planting on the Riverside Park.
That's in your minutes too?
CHD.
We talked about that last month.
CHD.
Got money for trees?
No, they
You
just
wanna
have extra
explain
money
it,
to
Stu?
spend.
What's it say,
Stu?
Steve?
this one here, Rotary Club's
no.
interest.
CHD down here.
Okay, Stu explained that CHD approached him because they have extra environmental health funding that
That's
needs
it.
to be used.
Environmental health.
Before
funding.
June. After meeting with
Okay.
them, staff proposed a few projects that they can invest in. They will provide up to $7,000 in funding for mature shade trees that we hope to plant along the Riverside Greenway. They also have funding to pay their staff to come plant trees in addition to the funding for the trees.
Yeah.
Sweet, so.
So anyway, after I had met with Matea and Stu, then she invited me to attend this CBO group meeting that they have. It's like CHD, Neon, the well, I'm trying to remember the name of the group, but yeah.
Islanders?
It's- I can't
Polynesian?
remember the name of their
Micronesian?
group, but it's the Micronesian community.
Yeah.
And a senior services group. Anyway, so they just invited me to come and attend this and talk about our programs and our upcoming grant work, and then learn a little bit more about what they're doing. And then so I was able to share with those groups that we are going to be hiring both a summer seasonal and an outreach coordinator, and so they'll be able to, pass that information along to their peeps.
Is the Micronesian, is that EOU group or is that?
CHD has their own. Yeah. Yeah, kinda came up through COVID actually.
Okay.
They have these outreach programs, like there's a Hispanic one, there's a Micronesian one, there's the seniors, there's the whatever else you said. So they kinda have these networks already kinda set up.
And so they're gonna do this for the Arbor Day celebration? Planting plants on Riverside?
No,
Tree
that
planting.
it's gonna be a separate deal. They're gonna come
But
to
before
our,
June?
they're gonna come to our May street tree planting day.
Oh, good.
That's the day that they're gonna come, because I wasn't ready for Riverside Park planting yet.
Anything else on CBO?
Nope.
Okay. Staff reports, urban forestry.
I think, I did send my report out.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, so mostly just been working on grant stuff and Arbor Day and tree planting.
Where were
Yep,
the
it's-
two planning, groups you worked with? You said two planning development plans, it's in the report.
Through Boquist's office, she's asking the plans. You must have wrote two on your report.
I'm sorry.
Site development,
I-
site,
oh,
site,
Site
yeah,
development.
site
plans.
development, site
Yeah.
review plans, yeah.
I'd have to go back and look. One, shoot, hang on, I'll try. It may take me a while to get my brain going, cause I look at a lot of
Project
those.
Nickel,
Nope, that one was, already looked at that one before. This one, there was one on, we're gonna be planting trees, well, I'm gonna be providing trees for 16th Street development that they're doing over there. And then the other one, oh, it was Carpet One. They're gonna be planting trees there where they moved across the road into the Rite Aid building.
Are they going in the parking lot or along the street
Oh,
side?
in the right of way. They're gonna do cutouts in the right of way. Oh, and then the other one is this, what used to be the Spruce Street Market, is being, changed to a residential home. And because of our new ordinance that requires trees be planted when residential homes go in, they also have to do a cutout there and put in a
Cool.
tree.
Okay.
Nothing on the Grand Ronde Hospital parking lot.
Nope, she's never returned my call.
Oh.
So I'll have to call her again. I left a fairly detailed message. Maybe that's why she hasn't called me back. I don't want like fun.
Yeah,
What's the 16th Street one? Is that the Gus Chachas development in there?
No, it's not Gus Chachas.
It's True
True,
Ave.
true,
True
true
Avenue. That's
construction.
what we call it.
Oh.
What do you call it?
True Avenue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is, right?
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, it's True
I
Ave.
thought this is what we called it.
No, it's True Ave.
True Ave.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's,
Bunch of houses in it.
Yeah.
and they bought another piece. I don't know if it's adjacent to it, but I think it's another 28 houses. So it's
20.
Wow.
And they're building a house every 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are they like smaller houses or are
They
they?
are. They're
Okay.
going to be around 1,000
Oh,
square
good.
foot
They have
footprint,
a pretty big
2 and
garage.
3 bedrooms,
Perfect.
Okay.
and you pass out it with how fast they're going, what they're going for.
Mm.
But
They're
they're
going for a
they're
lot.
paving everything, it looks like.
They're small lots.
They're
There's
small
not a
lots.
lot of room for trees.
What are they selling for?
Is that
About 300,000.
But there will be one tree
But that's
per
entry
lot.
level. I need more. You know, and
How
that.
much?
300.
Yeah, I know, but.
One of them was a 2-bedroom, 770 square foot.
Oh my
Whoa.
god, that's crazy.
That's tiny.
We need all housing, so.
But
Yeah,
but
but we-
I mean, with all these with the development that's going on, I mean, we need it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if at some point rural or unincorporated Union County goes away from that 80-acre rule.
Well, they're pretty flexible right now with what you can do for dividing your properties.
But anyways,
Well, that's interesting to hear. Anything else? Reports, Teresa?
Where was
Stuart?
the gopher?
Oh,
What's that?
that was Steve's tree.
What?
Oh,
The gopher.
here, I got
The
it.
gopher?
Here, I'll do a show and
There was a
tell.
gopher.
Oh yeah, up on the second. I got that on my comments. On the Second Street planting, I noticed there was this tree leaned over like this. And I went and pulled it back up, and it just flopped over. So Teresa was out there one day, and we said, "What's going on with this tree?" Oh, the gopher had eaten all of the roots off.
Wow.
impressive.
Yeah.
Is the gopher still there?
We don't
I
know.
haven't seen any active
No.
sign of it.
Particularly
But
as
these
well
were
as food.
fairly fresh chew marks.
Yeah, they were when it came down. So I was like, "Oh, show this to the group. This is really cool."
So was that one that we had planted?
No, it's one of those ones on the. Well, you may have. I don't know. but it
Second
was-
Street.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the one on the.
The
over
freeway
the-
ramp where we planted all the trees.
Oh,
From the
Yeah.
fairgrounds up the ramp.
towards the top.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that tree was never meant to be planted in the first place.
Why?
Teresa
Oh,
almost got heat
was that
stroke
my
that
death tree?
Is that the one?
I don't know.
Well, maybe that's interesting because if it was, perhaps the gopher sensed that it was
In the wrong
in
spot.
the wrong spot, and it was going to put it out of its misery and get a little snack at the same time.
I got a big snack.
Yeah.
Well, back to Stu's report.
Stu's
So
report.
Stu's been nominated by the governor to join the Oregon Parks and Recreation Commission.
Yay!
But he has to be confirmed by the Senate, which happens on Monday. So see if he gets confirmed.
I'm going to call them.
And then your shorts get shorter. Great.
So it just means that I'm one of 6 commissioners in charge of state parks. So
Cool.
the director, answers to the commission. They set policy and prices and property acquisition and et cetera, budget for
Nice.
state parks.
Good.
So
How many?
Kudos to you.
I mean, how many?
6.
There's just 6 of you.
people?
I'm one of 6, yeah.
Cool. And is it for 3 years? 5?
Good question. I don't remember.
So will you have to go down to Salem, or can you do it?
It's
down-
all over the state, right? So every meeting is moved to a different state park. So it could be
Oh,
on
fun.
the coast, could be, in
Wallowa
nowhere,
State Park?
eastern Oregon, could be in
Yeah, okay.
wherever.
And you have a lot to say about
Will I?
it? Yeah.
We're
Well,
all,
we'll see.
Where the meeting is,
we'll all,
or
we'll all
in
hearts
general?
catch fire when
general.
you're traveling to these meetings.
Wow. Yeah, so that'll be exciting. I think.
And when will this, you haven't,
The confirmation's Monday,
Okay.
so that'll be fun. Take the wife and kids, and then they can see that. And
Oh,
then
yeah,
it'll be-
during the summer.
Pretty much all set in stone then. They're confirming you to that position.
I mean, I think if they had questions, they'd ask them by now, right?
Sure.
So I sent an email to all the senators. I think there's 6 of them on that committee. It's the rules committee. So then, you go through the process. I have to go up and do a 90-second speech at the podium, and then, next, because it's like, hospital commission, the Oregon whatever commission on or whatever. Like, there's like 70 people or whatever getting
Yeah.
appointed. But anyway, it's pretty cool that I was
Yeah.
nominated,
Yeah.
recognized, whatever, and it's just kind of neat to be involved at that level. And it's pretty cool when you get like an email from the governor's office.
Right.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is
So
this?
I think we have 90
Congratulations.
seconds. Do you want to practice?
Don't do it off the cuff, Stu.
No, be fine. They sent like a 4-page email that said, here's how you address the committee, here's how you address senators, here's how you say your name, here's how you dress, here's how you present yourself, here's how you sit, here's how you speak, here's what you need. Yeah, like every single thing.
I like that kind
Does
of
your pinky
direction.
go out?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the whole thing is very formal.
Wow.
It's like, okay, got it. Good luck me being formal. But sure.
You can.
As a matter of fact, the one lady from the governor's office is like, "See, please send a explanation of how to pronounce your name to the group." And I said, "Stew, like beef stew."
Did you really?
I did.
I hope she smiled when she read that on an email.
You gotta think they're just sitting reading these mundane emails, and then
Yeah.
mine comes across like, "Oh God, this guy."
Here we go.
Anyway, it's good.
Do you have a bow tie?
Oh,
No, but that would be epic. Might have to stop in my way to Salem and grab one.
it would be perfect. It would fit you perfectly. Anything else
A
to
polka
lighten
dot
our
one.
evening up?
No.
Okay, pending business. This is just, you're still
Yeah.
working on them?
Yeah.
They're still kind of floating around out there?
Yeah, I haven't done anything on researching policy for tree removal
Okay.
funding.
What about LMS? Are you getting any kickback or?
Nope, no, I think, well, I need to talk with him more. I had an initial conversation with Brad Sunderman, and he was up for planting trees up there, so
Good.
we just have to work out the details.
So the arboretum over there, the modulars, the whatever kindergarten is there,
It-
did they take out trees to put in that little playground?
No.
Okay.
And that was one of the areas that I wanted to talk to him about, because the playground faces south, and it has no trees on that south
Oh.
side.
So there could be some shade.
Yeah, it'd be nice to put some trees in there. I mean, it'll take a while to get good shade, but
Yeah,
good tall trees because there's no wires, no
Right.
nothing.
right.
Alrighty then. Tree care education, anything for us?
Oh, I did not put much thought into that. I guess if you
To the
have,
gopher.
if you
Yeah.
have,
We did
if
the
you have,
gopher.
if you have pocket gophers and you know they're a problem in your area, you can, when you plant a tree, you can wrap it in chicken wire. And it will protect the tree long enough to get established and keep it from girdling the tree. And then eventually it just rusts and go away.
Yeah, cool.
So,
Does it drive the roots deeper or shallower when you put chicken wire in?
they just go through, doesn't really have any effect.
And it'll break it once it gets large enough and all that.
Because the chicken wire will break down and rust and the
Yeah.
roots will just keep
Oh,
going.
cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
So just a mention of this. I don't know
Oh,
whether
did you
either
get
of you
one
two
of
get a
those?
copy of
Cause
this.
I gave copies to the other
Um,
commissioners.
I finally picked it up the other day and started reading it. It's interesting. It's got some good notes in there. I think the title does not convey the structure of the book.
If you're interested, you're welcome to take a copy.
What?
The title doesn't really
What should it be
convey
called?
that. It should be nature and technology, because she talks about nature and the potential crisis of climate change and fires and floods and etc. But then she talks about existing technologies that are being used to facilitate nature's development and
incorporate.
yeah,
that
and not, you know, how to, so Planet Geo is referenced in here.
Okay.
How we live together with.
eBirds or citizen science app.
Birds.
eBirds, which is Cornell University.
Birds.
It's a way for you to log whatever birds you see, where you see them,
Okay.
and then it goes back into a great big database in Cornell University, and then they start to map it all out and everything. And there's a whole section in about wildfires.
Yeah.
And I downloaded an app that started out that was citizen sourced data on current fire conditions, and now it's become any kind of environmental crisis or event.
What about losing all your national forest? Would that be in there?
Yeah, well, there's nothing there about technologically that we can do, but anyway, I recommend it. It's easy read, it's informative, and you know, there's some stuff in there I thought we might even actually, you know, put in play here in terms of if we had the need for data for some type of data collection or data to justify, like there's a group out there now that are taking satellite imagery and not just looking at tree cover, but they're looking at all sort of natural environments and applying an index to it, and then they're incorporating it into real estate and financial analysis and stuff. It's like, whoa. It's kind of cool to what they're doing to promote the value of nature.
And we'll do a demo on this tree tool that the state has now, but very similar. You can look at a neighborhood, you can look at canopy cover, you can look at socioeconomics, you can look at lots of different cool things. So we have that now. So we'll share that maybe the next,
Whenever we get it. Online.
wherever it's online. It's good stuff.
All right, commissioner comments. I was going to talk about the gopher tree, but
I still put you under there, so we're
Okay.
good.
anything else? Anybody have comments? Volunteer hours?
Just meeting.
Yeah,
Mhm.
meeting.
Did you get everybody to come and judge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I did. Actually, I did, yes.
Okay.
Which I apologize for. Sorry.
Well, we had 4 commissioners come and judge, so that was great.
Can you make up for it? Plant trees.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yes, deeply appreciated.
Well, I like to look at the posters.
Just
We'll
go
have
to the
do that.
library and look at
Go
it.
down the library. I mean,
Anything else?
we didn't have any prominent figures, child do anything, make a fun poster this year like last year.
Oh, these nuts? No.
What was that?
I have the photo.
I think we
I'm
should
not gonna
adjourn.
repeat it, but we have the photo.
But we haven't
we're-
have we adjourned the meeting?
We're going to adjourn